So a couple of days ago, I sat down in a movie theater and I watched The Purge. And let me just tell you that movies are something that I really adore. So that's why I'm sitting here and talking about a movie, because it's what I'm best at. So here we go. I was watching this movie, and the concept of this movie really frightened me. And I don't mean frightened as in, I'm scared to go to sleep, I'm so traumatized by this event. No, I mean frightening as in it really gets my mind working, turning away with craziest thoughts. And it's scary. I'm a naturally curious person. And as a naturally curious person, I am constantly thinking about completely irrelevant and outrageous things. A lot of what ifs. Like, what if this were to happen? What if this person were to show up in my house? Or what if this law were to be put into action? A completely outrageous law that would potentially destroy all of us morally and physically effective immediately. So watching this movie and completely buying into this whole concept was a bit of an experience for me. Especially because you think of all of the things that we have done in history, especially my country specifically, all of the stupid laws that have been put into action, all of the stupid decisions that we've made. So it makes you think that the concept of the movie The Purge, having a whole 12 hours of all laws completely abolished, it makes you kind of wonder, would we be stupid enough to actually put this into place in our fiscal government? Would someone be stupid enough to try to pass this law? And with a movie that is a scientific thriller, it gets much more real, much more faster. Because sci-fis have science behind them. I mean, it might be small. It might be a small amount of science. It might be a good amount of science. Most of sci-fi movies are blown completely out of proportion, but what I like about sci-fi is that there is no limit, because it's all a bunch of what ifs. So I'm watching The Purge, and I'm thinking all through the movie, what the fuck is wrong with all of these people having their happy faces on and having these flowers on their front yard in support of this whole thing. And that part that says honoring our new founding fathers, that just gets me. That fucking creeps me out, like to the max. New founding fathers, it's just so weird. It's so weird to me. And everyone being completely okay with this, and then this woman throwing an annual party in support of this. It's just right? I watched a lot of reviews in which a lot of people bashed the kid in the movie, the only kid in the movie, because of because of the decisions that he made, letting the man inside while the rest of his neighborhood completely ignored him, and, his family being pissed off at him for doing such a stupid thing. And I agree that it was a stupid thing, but I do have to say that I completely agreed with him on the decision that he decided to make, and I feel like I can relate to him morally, because I would most definitely do what he did, only because I feel like if I didn't, it would just be, I would be a shitty person. And I know you have that whole thing about, okay, you can't just let in this stranger who might possibly be a decent person, and who might also actually be a psychotic asshole who's trying to murder you by throwing this pity party for himself and putting your family at risk. I get that, but I would probably do what he did, and I have to say that I would probably be much more tactical about it. I would really weigh my options, but I really do support his decision, even though that ended up with his dad maybe kinda sorta dying. Another thing is the man, the blonde hair, and the creepy grin. Holy fuck. I thought he was a decent actor, even though part of me was always just wondering why it was that he was trying so hard to be Jack Nicholson. He was a pretty decent actor. I really enjoyed his performance, but I really hated his character. I really wanted to beat his character with a bat. I know that seems like I'm contradicting myself, considering I was just talking about letting a random person in inside of my fully secured house with my family. But, I mean, I say with good reason. I mean, the guy was a psychopath, right? Right? Like I mentioned before, I had watched a couple of reviews and they were bashing the kid. I was personally bashing the girl more. The daughter. Like, she was pissing me off. It was pissing me off how she couldn't see through this guy's facade. Like, he was fucking crazy. But other than that, if you lived in a world or a country in which something like the Purge was an actual thing, would you participate in it? Would you purge? I personally wouldn't. I mean, if I were to purge, I more than likely would not opt for the murder option. I mean, unless it was something that was like really threatening my family or blackmailing me, and it's just like, okay, that's another thing. That's Breaking Bad. I would probably opt for stealing. So yeah, that's a thing. Have a happy Wednesday and happy Purge.